see. Giant floating spear of water. Bullshit! Which appears in a matter of seconds from seemingly nowhere. Bullshit! In which athletes compete underwater, holding their breath for at least 5 minutes at a time without once coming up for air. Bullshit! Unless you're like Guybrush Threepwood or something. Seriously, this is never once explained, but it's a major aspect of the gameplay that blitzball players are capable of holding their breath for hours at a time. I just don't get it. This isn't something you have to be a doctor to understand, or something people just casually get wrong. This is a universally well-known fundamental limit of human endurance. Now, yes, some people are capable of holding their breaths for absurdly long periods of time, but they're not playing fucking soccer while they're doing it. It'd be like me inventing a game where people light themselves on fire and play tennis in a cube made of bees floating in outer space. I don't care how good an athlete you are, it's just not gonna happen. Now, I'll have to come back to blitzball periodically because, I'm not kidding, most of Final Fantasy X revolves around the fucking game. But what really gets on my tits is just that it's physically impossible. You don't need to be a physicist to realize that you can't throw a volleyball underwater. You can't! You can't! I don't care if you're Harry fucking Potter and you were riding a jet-powered broomstick underwater and fired the fucking ball out of a bazooka. The ball ain't moving like this. Nor is it physically possible to leap 20 feet into the air from underwater, even if you do enter Matrix time to do it. Why Titus does this, by the way, that is, why he leaps out of the water, I have no earthly clue. But suddenly Godzilla attacks and smashes the stadium. Whoa! Gojira! Gojira! Run! Somehow Titus survives this fall, gets up and runs into some guy he knows named Auron, this smooth pimp daddy who's just about the only character in this game that I can stand, and who is also one of the most badass characters in the entire history of the Final Fantasy series. Why? Well, we never learn all that much about him, aside from the fact that he looks like an old grizzled bastard with tons of scars and samurai skills. All the guy carries around, all he needs, is a big fucking sword and a huge jug of booze. Man, I love this guy.
We called it Sin.
Sin starts wrecking the city, and all the while little scales are breaking off his body, turning into monsters and attacking. Yep, this monster is so tough that its dandruff comes alive and kills you. But luckily our brave hero leaps into action. Oh dear God. This guy's supposed to be the hero. I'll harm you! Well, Auron gives him an extra sword, if only to spare his own dignity, but they don't get far. You can just tell that Auron is seriously considering letting this little twerp fall to his death. If he dies, I'll be the hero of this game.
It all begins here.
Oh my God, the face!
I had made it out of the frying pan and into the freezer.
He wakes up in some mysterious flooded ruins where he gets chased by a fish who sucks, but he gets away, only to run straight into another monster. Things look bad when suddenly...
Step into a Slim Jim! Ooh, yeah!
No, it's a group of jumpsuited weirdos led by Riku, another character who always manages to find fresh ways to annoy me every time I see her. Never mind that I have a healthy fear of teenage chicks with easy access to hand grenades, but she's also become a multiple award-winning gaming sex symbol. Seriously, I'm not making this up. Riku has nothing to do with the plot at all. The entire purpose of her character is blatant, disturbing fan service, and to be honest, it kinda creeps me out. I remind you, Riku is supposed to be 15 years old, and yet this game revels in every opportunity it can find to objectify her sexually. Don't even get me started on the sequel, which takes off even more of her clothes so you can see her thong. She's 15! And look at this one. This is from the instruction book, and it seems to imply that she's naked, or at least topless. You want to talk about disturbing trends in video games? Forget violence. Let's talk about the fact that many gamers consider a 15-year-old underage girl to be an ideal sexual fantasy conceived by Japanese perverts. Yeah, oh yeah, you heard me. If this were a live-action game, we'd all be registered sex offenders by now. This is dirty, creepy stuff, and you should all be ashamed for it. Oh my God, that's hot. No! Focus! Stupid sexy cosplayers. Not to imply that Riku is alone in being shamelessly objectified. Pretty much everybody sacrifices their dignity in the name of fan service, since in Spira, everyone wears hilariously revealing street clothes, combined with the camera's unerring ability to find a way to focus on someone's ass looming enormously in the foreground in nearly every shot. It happens so often that you're bound to lose count, but that won't stop me from trying. Okay, so Riku is an Albed, and no, I don't really know what that means, except they love robots, wear goggles, and have spiral pattern eyes. Yeah, great character design. What idiot came up with that?
Has anyone seen Neutro? I had it parked out back. It's a giant robot about, 200 feet tall, level cities. What?
Oh, and the Albed speak a fakey Star Wars type language that gets translated if you find all the hidden thingies around the world. Translating Albed's a waste of time anyway, since you'll only really understand it on a second playthrough. And really, what idiot would subject himself to this pile of fuck all over again? It's not like you learned anything useful, they're saying pretty much what you think they're saying. I have no idea why they think that. It's not like you encounter any monsters in the game that are even vaguely humanoid. They all look like fish or hornets or frowning scoops of ice cream. And I kinda doubt there's an Arch Hall Jr. looking Cylon model, but, they should probably kill him with hand grenades anyway, just to be sure.
Right, whatever.
So Titus learns from Riku that he's been transported 1,000 years into the future, and everything he knows and loves from Zanarkand is long, long dead. Like his fashion sense. To prove he's not a Cylon, he helps Riku salvage the sunken ruins using his unique technical knowledge of the machines of the past. By banging on it. Yeah. These guys invented anti-gravity and robots. But then, I'm trying to find reason in a game where you can steal hand grenades from fish. After killing an evil squid infesting the airship and salvaging it, they still don't trust him. I enjoy the fact that nobody likes him. That's our hero, folks. Too stupid to eat.
Where are you from?
Zanarkand. I'm a blitzball player. Star player of the Zanarkand Abes.
Don't tell anyone you're from Zanarkand, Kay. Yevon says it's a holy place. You might upset someone.
Oh, uh-huh.
You know, amateur. Who you play for?
The Zanarkand Abes.
Sorry. Sin attacks again, knocks Titus out again, and he awakens in an unfamiliar place. Again. This time he's on an island where he finds a team of blitzball players called the Besaid Aurochs. What's an Auroch? I don't know! I'm far more distracted by the dipshit with the mother of all cowlicks. Dude, seriously? When you make Ed Grimley look dignified and subtle, you should probably just kill yourself, I must say. Good lord. Can you imagine the nautical tons of hair gel that go into making that thing? And waterproof, no less? He must dunk his head in a sink full of roofing sealant every day. This guy. Just get used to this guy, because he never shuts the fuck up. He's also got the dumbest weapon in the history of Final Fantasy, and for a series that's featured such ridiculous weapons as the Gunblade, a wrist-mounted dog launcher, and a 7-foot-tall Moogle robot driven by a cat robot that hits people with a megaphone, that's saying a lot. This guy is killing people with a fucking dodgeball. Yeah, sometimes I let a little air out of it, so when it hits, it leaves a welt, yeah? I just can't get over this. His weapon of choice to battle the hordes of darkness is a volleyball. And you know what the sick thing is? The sickest part is that he's probably one of the best fighters in the entire game. He's one of the only people who can melee attack flying creatures, and once I found a magic blitzball that instantly turned most monsters to stone... Oh yeah, there are magic blitzballs, fabled weapons of legend, no doubt. Once I found the blitzball that turned monsters to stone, I barely had to worry about combat anymore. His basic melee attack did more damage than any of the frontline fighters with 5-foot-long swords using their special skills, and the Black Mage's Ultima spell. Even better, the guy always catches the ball, even if he's throwing it at Godzilla from the deck of an airship going Mach 1 100 yards away. It just comes right back.
Hey!
Anyway, Titus meets these dudes and instantly wins their worship when he reveals his ability to casually shatter the laws of physics. This gives Waka such a huge boner, he immediately rapes Titus and his tight ass until he agrees to join his sucky blitzball team for a big tournament in Luca. See, the Orcs have never won a game, probably because it's hard to practice without a stadium-sized anti-gravity water sphere generator in your armpit of a village. Waka takes him back to Besaid to take some hits off his blitzbomb, and along the way we meet some other guys.
Who are they?
Luzu and Gata, Crusaders.
Huh? Crews of what?
Oh, Do you see why I hate this guy? He's easily and measurably dumber than Waka!